former player, and they've signed him for next year's activity. Witters in the lane, and it drops. Ryan Witters, 53 to 52. Denver crowd wanted a charging call on Witters. He got 2 points. Ellis. Calvin. Long jumper by Calvin won't go. Roberts way up there to rebound and makes it. Anthony Roberts showed he can jump a little.
The Nuggets really going to the offensive board in this entire first half. And the Bucks, they must prevent that. If nothing else, if you can't out-jump them, you have to block them off the board a lot further away from the basket.
Denver won the opening game, 119 to 103. Alex English. Hissel rebounding. He had Ellis there with him, and Denver dominated the defensive board. David Thompson to Roberts on the baseline. Hissel. He can hit from there and does. 56-53 Denver.
That shows you his versatility. Not only does he go inside, he goes outside.
Witters driving. Back pass for Myers. Traveling call on Witters.
I think it's important that the Bucks try to settle down a little bit right now. They're trying to advance the ball too quickly. The Nuggets on the other end, they're coming up, they're running when they have it, but they're also running some set plays and going to that offensive glass as we talked about.
Running in control is what Larry Brown wants the Nuggets to do. David Thompson hits. English and Myers lead the Bucks with 10 points. David Thompson has 14 to lead everybody. Ellis intercepts. Bo Ellis for Calvin. 43 seconds remaining here in the first half. Roberts to Issel. Watched by Aiken. Thanks. The Nuggets open a little room here. 60 to 53, largest lead of the game. 20 seconds remaining, and Witters slowing it down as Milwaukee wants to make this final shot. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Witters calling the play. Myers at the top of the key. Myers watched by Roberts. Up over. Misses. Rebound Ellis. 5 seconds left. Calvin driving. Calvin for Issel. 50-53 as time runs out. And a foul call.
Well, the Nuggets really doing a super job of getting the ball up the court. Dave Myers a little upset at that. He felt he was fouled in the backcourt. But look at it here. The advancement by Calvin. He brings it up. He goes inside because Myers comes over to help out, gives it off, and Myers fouls Issel as he puts the ball in.
And so, with time expired, Dan Issel has a chance to make a three-point play. The Nuggets lead it 62 to 53, and they now have a 10-point margin. Suddenly, in the final couple of minutes here in the first half, the Denver Nuggets have exploded to a 10-point lead over the Milwaukee Bucks, 63 to 53.
In the tropics, where we blend Dutch Master cigars, our master blender, Augusto Santiago, meets the tobacco personally. Before he accepts, he tastes it 3 times. First with his nose, then with his touch. Then he wraps a leaf around the cigar and tastes it with his taste. That's why a Dutch Masters like our Panatella is worth more. There really are masters at Dutch Masters.
See what's new today. When you're driving down the road and you're moving through a curve and your car's looking good, it's showing lots of nerve. It's Monza by Chevrolet.
The new Monza by Chevrolet. For a car so sporty and so well equipped, it's priced surprisingly low.
Monza by Chevrolet.
DuPont presents the car wax with a watertight guarantee. Rain Dance. It's guaranteed to shine longer, to bead water longer, guaranteed to last longer than the leading car waxes. Or DuPont gives you your money back. Repeat. Rain Dance is guaranteed to shine longer, to bead water longer, to last longer. The Rain Dance guarantee is watertight.
When When you order a beer, do like Smoking Joe. Order light beer from Miller and say no more. It's got the third less calories than the regular beer. Light tastes great, y'all, but listen here. It's not the thing that makes me shout. Light's less filling, hey, that really knocks me out.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Hi, everyone. I'm Don Cricky, and today the CBS horse competition continues with second round play. Basically, horse is the game where you must duplicate your opponent's shot or be assessed a penalty letter. 5 misses means 5 letters, and the player is out. Today we have John Drew of the Atlanta Hawks matched up against JoJo White, the longtime sharpshooter for the Boston Celtics. And for more on the rules, here's Mendy Rudolph.
The basic rules of horse are as follows. The player in control must describe his shot beforehand. Now, 2 consecutive shots from the same area are not allowed unless someone moves at least 5 feet away. There are trick shots allowed. However, the same trick shot cannot be attempted more than once in the contest. The flip of the coin will determine who goes first. Now, there's going to be disputes out there, and if there are, my word will be the final judge.
John Drew, who led those surprising Atlanta Hawks into the playoffs, will lead away after winning the coin flip. This competition staged at the Omni International Complex in John's home city of Atlanta.
Letter, JoJo.
So the first letter goes up on JoJo White.
Same thing on the other side.
John used a lot of psychology in the first competition, the first round. He's not above walking in front of his opponent just as he's getting ready to line up his shot, talking to him a little bit.
Hit the backboard.
JoJo can handle all that.
Letter, JoJo.
A 2-letter lead now for John Drew.
Between the legs. Lay out. Off the glass.
Whoa, says JoJo. That was a little nervous. Now JoJo has the shooting advantage. This is one of the great athletes in any sport. He was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys to play football. The Cincinnati Reds tried to sign him to play baseball. And, of course, he was the #1 draft choice and has since been an all-pro with the Boston Celtics. Right now, JoJo White has a problem.
Straight in.
Just like he said, straight in.
Straight in.
John Drew stays right with it.
From the middle, off the glass, in.
John claims once in the North Carolina Summer League, a kid showed up with just 1 shoe. John said, "I think you lost a shoe." He says, "No, I found one, John." Here comes JoJo White. Now what do we have here? John's doing some
I
thinking.
know. Yeah. No bounce. Well, do you have to take a bounce? Right out there.
Strides right in and puts it down, and JoJo White, who doesn't have that big a stride,
No bounce.
have a hard time perhaps with this
Reverse
one.
layup off the backboard.
All right.
Letter, White.
There you see it. JoJo White trailing 3 letters to 1.
Backwards.
Backwards. Swish or bank?
Switch.
Swish. Backwards. No good. No good. No good. One off the glass. JoJo takes over.
Jump straight in, use the left hand off the glass.
Move back, John.
Straight in, left hand off the glass.
Gotcha.
Okay. Ready?
Go ahead. No. What happened? Took a step in the court, and he let it goes to John Drew.
So Mendy right on top of it, and the letter goes up on Drew.
On my back, left hand.
Now, JoJo White missed a shot, so John Drew takes the lead in the shooting advantage.
No glass?
No glass.
White's a great ball handler. Shouldn't have any trouble with this. Oh, he did. JoJo's got a big problem now.
This side, opposite foot, off the glass.
Opposite foot.
Later, John Drew missed his shot, and so JoJo has the shooting advantage back. John has to match that.
This foot.
Letter. Drew. Now,
Legs crossed.
legs crossed.
Feet don't leave the floor. Stay on the floor. I'm here. I better get in a little closer.
Joe's going into his bag of tricks now. Got that great wrist shot. Flicks that wrist. Line drive jumpers. Line drive one-handers. And the letters now go up on John Drew, and so both players a letter away from victory or elimination.
Off the opposite
Foot, off the glass.
Right-hand shot off the right foot. Doesn't look hard, but it is.
No, no.
No, wrong leg, wrong foot. No. It wasn't the opposite leg. Let
You got him, JoJo.
John Drew. JoJo White, the winner.
So, JoJo White advances over John Drew of the Atlanta Hawks in this second-round competition. Now let's meet JoJo White of the Boston Celtics. JoJo, I guess they call that Celtic pride, don't they, when you come from behind and win like that?
Well, I had read the rule book, and I don't think John was really straight on the rules and knowing when to take your shots, when to stay within your range, and when to do a lot of things. And John ran out of his trick shots. He did them early, which I figure you should do them late when you got the guy under pressure. But he ran out of things to do.
You Celtics, I think, like that pressure. We'll see you in the quarterfinal round. JoJo White of the Celtics. A loser in the second round receives a check for $1,000. The eventual winner is going to receive $15,000. And join us next week when Maurice Lucas goes against Ron Boone.
At halftime in Denver, the Nuggets 63, the Milwaukee Bucks 53. The NBA on CBS will return after this word from your local station.
The Ewing women become the targets of a man who thinks he's been two-timed in Sunday's exciting edition of Dallas, here on CBS.
At the conclusion of today's game, in each of our NBA telecasts, we'll be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with this award, Chevrolet will present a check for $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the player's college or university. Any student may be eligible to benefit from these scholarship funds. Today's winner will be announced at the end of the telecast. John McLaughlin, you and I will be voting for the MVP. Should we disagree, our producer, Charles Milton III, will cast the deciding vote. And so, here at halftime. Denver with a 10-point margin, and that came about in the final 1 minute and 48 seconds of the first half, John, as all of a sudden they exploded. A game that had been back and forth, very close, something like 10 lead changes, 9 ties. Now all of a sudden a 10-point margin for Denver.
Well, the Nuggets are very capable of that, and we'll have an opportunity to look at it right here, an area the Bucks must improve on, and that's getting back on defense. Here it is, the last 8 seconds of the game. Dave Myers put the ball up. The Nuggets get the rebound. Now, they come out of there on a very nice, fast break. The ball comes to Mac Calvin. He pushes it very well, but look, the Bucks really not getting back on defense the way they should, and therefore Denver getting 3 points out of this particular play.
Myers had to play all 3 Nuggets by himself there, and Issel made the 3-point play, and so the Denver team with a 10-point margin at halftime. Remember, they lead in this series 1-0. The Bucks naturally would like to even things up here as they will head to Milwaukee for the next 2 games, and of course we'll have that one for you on Sunday afternoon, game number 3 in this series. What can the Bucks do here in the second half now that they're down by 10?
Well, again, I think the Denver defense has been superb. They've made the Bucks turn the ball over, the Bucks not putting it in, therefore the Nuggets coming the other way and either getting the break, which the Bucks must get back on defense as we talked about, or going one-on-one, Issel and Thompson, and they're tough to stop. The Bucks are going to have to counter with, again, going to the offensive boards and tightening up their defense.
All right, let's see what the Milwaukee Bucks can come up with in half number 2 as they try to get back into this one. They're down by 10. The Denver Nuggets 63, the Milwaukee Bucks 53 at halftime, and we'll be right back.
We're good and tough. We're the Kellys.
The Kellys have a way to save gasoline from the ground up. A steel-belted radial called the Kelly gas pincher. When we tested a set of gas pinchers against our non-radials, the gas pincher pinched from 14.5 up to 31.7 more miles out of a tank of gas. That's hundreds of more miles a year with the gas pinchers.
We're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Being 5'10" was a drag, and then I found that I fit in. Playing basketball, feeling 10 foot tall, helping other people win. Yeah, it's really like my daddy said, you can stand around and fret, or you can go all out with what you got, 'cause it's all you're gonna get. Being my RC, it's very good to me, 'cause what's plain old good to other folks ain't good enough for me and my RC.
At UCLA, my teams won 10 NCAA championships. I guess that's why I was asked to help design the Wilson John Wooden basketball shoe. It's made with polyurethane, so it's the lightest shoe in the game. Light, to help you start quick and play long without tiring. It helps you jump high, and this angled cushion heel helps you land easy. If you were playing for me, this is the shoe you'd be wearing.
The Wilson John Wooden basketball shoe, designed light to win.
Hi, I'm David Thompson of the Denver Nuggets, and I'm a long way from NBA action. Here in Africa, like a lot of places around the world, the Peace Corps is alive and well, helping people in need. People went out of their way to help me when I was a kid, and that's what the Peace Corps is asking you to do. Help someone and you'll help yourself. Join the Peace Corps.
This message is brought to you by the Ad Council in cooperation with the NBA.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS, sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. AC Delco, quality automotive parts for quality motoring. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Report on the Seattle-Portland game. Let's go now to Brent Musburger and Rick Barry in Portland to see what's happening there.
Welcome those of you watching Denver-Milwaukee. Seattle coming down in green has not yet scored here in the second half. The Blazers have run off 9 points to tie them. Walton on the bench with an injury. Off steal, out of bounds. It'll go to Seattle, and we can expect the play to be set up because Lenny Wilkins is just bringing the team back after a timeout.
And that was fine defensive effort that time by Steele on weak side help.
Johnson And there was a foul.
And that is the 4th personal foul on Lionel Hollins. And Jack Ramsey has a big decision to make right here.
9 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third. The Supersonics and the Blazers are tied at 49.
Jack electing to leave him in.
Welcome back to Denver. Tim Ryan with John McLaughlin. We are just underway here in the second half. Denver has struck quickly with a pair of baskets to make it 67 to 53. No basket for Milwaukee.
The official had a little late whistle on this. Buckner gets inside, puts the ball up. Now watch Marcus Johnson come in and tip the ball in. You decide. Yeah, it was up there. That's definitely a good call.
All right, Roberts scored twice for Denver in the opening seconds of the second half. The second basket coming on a Milwaukee turnover and a brilliant pass from David Thompson. Here is Thompson underneath. Tip in by Itzel.
Now once again, offensive rebound by the Nuggets. That time Thompson getting inside, jumping over Gianelli, who's a foot taller than him almost. But then Issel coming in to tip it in because no one blocked Dan Issel off the boards. That's too easy.
All across our land, people know our brand.
Come on,
you
guys.
can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Hear that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Hit!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Hey, where you been? It wasn't easy getting tickets for this game. Hey, Bob. Eddie, I know exactly what I want. I want the biggest steak you've got and a bottle of Lowenbrow. Steak and Lowenbrow. Dolan, you're a genius.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Here's to the chef. Here's to the bartenders.
See what's new today.
Chevrolet announces a lot more Chevette for a lot less money. New Chevette standard equipment includes a radio, reclining bucket seats, white-wall tires, console, sports steering wheel, a 1.6-liter engine, 18 new standard features in all, plus a wide hatch, carpeting, front disc brakes, rack and pinion steering, and more. The 78 Chevy Chevette. A lot more car for a lot less money.
Sunday on Dallas, 2 gunmen invade the ranch, and their target is the Ewing women. The drama and passion of Dallas. Sunday at 10, 9 Central the Mountain.
A 16-point margin for the Denver Nuggets here in the third quarter. And look at this. Portland has come back to tie Seattle. They trailed by 10 in that game, and a little more than that earlier. Wilkerson back for Denver to Issel. Issel underneath Jones. And that's Bobby Jones. 71 to 53. Denver hot, but really in the first half, their rebounding was a big factor.
Oh, it certainly was. They had 23 rebounds to the Bucks' 12, and they also had 24 attempts, making 21 from the free throw line, while the Bucks were only 7 for 9.
Foul call against Brian Winters, his second.
Tim, once you get into a hole like this, it's so very difficult to come back. The Bucks have done it all year, but the Nuggets really playing with a lot of confidence, and man, are they running the fast break nicely.
Jones, Wilkerson, number 32 with the ball. Dan Issel underneath, Jones alone. David Myers fell down. He was hurt and is still getting up now and back into the action, but he was completely out of the play. You saw Larry Brown happy with that development. 73 to 53, a 20-point margin. John, it's hard to imagine we would have seen a 20-point margin in this game or any between these two teams.
Boy, the Nuggets really showing a lot of power, really coming out, mixing it up very nicely, running the fast break, setting up at the half court, running the half court when they have to, and also their defense has been just outstanding in this playoff.
Myers obviously all right. He just threw in a long bank shot, 73 to 55. Myers, Winters, Bridgman, Marcus Johnson, Brian Winters for Milwaukee. Roberts, Jones, Issel, Wilkerson, Thompson for Denver. This is Wilkerson.
Foul on Bobby Jones going after the rebound that time, committing the foul. Bobby Wilkerson's taking a long shot there. The Bucks would like to see him shoot that all night.
Milwaukee brings it up. We've got a long way to come back. Junior Bridgman. Myers. Watched by Roberts, and that won't go off the back rim. Roberts rebounds. Wilkerson with Thompson and Issel. Issel alone.
There it is again, the fast break. The Bucks not getting back, and once they do, they're not picking up the men. The Nuggets do a nice job of finding the trailers as well as the front men.
Issel rebounding, and Roberts could not catch up with the pass from Bobby Jones. Issel with 20 points.
Here's the last play to Issel. Bobby Wilkerson coming up. Issel wide open. No one even saw him. You know, interesting. Coming into this game, the Nuggets coaches, as Ken Benson comes into the game, John Gianelli out, Darnell Hillman and Issel out. The Nuggets coaches, Larry Brown in particular, said, we don't want to get into a running game with the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, let me tell you, they've gotten into it and outrun the Bucks so far.
David Myers is poked away by Roberts in the Milwaukee ball. So now we have two new centers in the lineup. Hillman playing at the center spot, normally a forward off the bench. Ken Benson, the rookie from Indiana, for Milwaukee, and Brian Winters hits. Winters has 10 points. Myers with 10. English with 10. Make it 12 for David Myers, 10 of the first half. Another pair here in the third period. 8:09 to go, third period. Anthony Roberts. Myers rebounds. Long pass for Marcus Johnson. Johnson, good speed for Bridgman, who dunks it.
The Bucks show there they can run the break also. Finding the trailer, Junior Bridgman. Don Nelson coaches the trailer very nicely. That's the guy that happens to be following the ball up. He made a living at it.
75-59. Home team Denver in front. Darnell Hillman to Jones. Jones banks and misses. Rebound Hillman. That's good. Winters up quickly for Milwaukee. Watched by David Thompson. Double pump misses. Gets his own rebound. Winters in the lane. That won't go. Myers keeps it alive. He's fouled. Anthony Roberts for holding, and Don Nelson concerned, as you might expect. 77-59 Denver leads.
That's the third team foul by the Nuggets. The Bucks still don't have any.
Seattle and Portland and the Trailblazers making the uphill climb have come ahead of Seattle, 57-55. Myers. Bobby Jones rebounds.
The Bucks really have gone cold. Someone must get hot for the Bucks, and preferably, I suppose, they would like to have a couple of players. Brian Winters has been relatively silent, so has Marcus Johnson.
David Thompson.
What can you do, right?
16 points for David Thompson. We know our fans in the Carolina area enjoying watching Sir David.
Now, Marcus Johnson likes to post up. He's not getting the ball at all because Bobby Jones does such a super job of overplaying. The Bucks cannot get it into Marcus. Therefore, he has to get his points off the break and off the board.
Darnell Hillman from Bobby Jones. A 20-point margin again. 81-61. Winters up quickly for the Bucks. Bridgman using the screen. That won't go. Kent Benson on the rebound. Marcus Johnson will try. That's good.
Well, to get back in a game, once you're down, you have to put the ball in the basket. That's true. But more importantly, you have to prevent the other club from doing it. Therefore, the Bucks must tighten up the defense. They must make the Nuggets turn it over.
Kent Benson is the guilty party. And timeout is called with 5:52 and a foul on Kent Benson, and the Denver Nuggets have 81, the Milwaukee Bucks 63.
Sears National Automotive Sale. The Sears 48, a maintenance-free battery. A battery loaded with starting power is now on sale. The Sears 48, now only $34.99. You save $10.
Need motor oil?
oil? Here's an offer that stacks up pretty good. Save 25% on Sears Best Oil. Spectrum Plus 15W50. By the case or by the quart. At Sears.
In the war against grass and weeds, the bigger the lawn, the bigger the battle. To win, you need a Weed Eater brand gasoline trimmer. Weed Eater gas trimmers use nylon line to mow, trim, and edge where mowers and electric trimmers can't, quickly and safely. To fight your grass and weeds, get a Weed Eater brand trimmer, the ultimate weapon for people with better things to do than their lawn. Call this toll-free number for your nearest Weed Eater dealer.
Okay, big, green T. If National's going to be the best car rental company, we have got to hustle. Schultz, the last reservation call.
9 seconds, sir.
Walsh, green light service means...
Fast service, sir.
Willoughby, before we rent this new Chevy, we check all 10 items on the maintenance checklist. And then we sign it. Sir. Okay, team, let's go.
10,000 people working for you. The big green team. We're National Car.
On Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular features live the World Middleweight Championship from Italy, with defending champion Rodrigo Valdez putting his title on the line against high-ranking Hugo Coro of Argentina. That's Saturday at 4:30 Eastern.
Well, now for a report on the Seattle-Portland game, let's go out to Portland. Brent Musburger and Rick Barry.
Welcome the Denver-Milwaukee crowd. A turnaround with Portland leading Seattle and the Sonics in their traveling green and a whistle underneath on that play. Let me say that it has been the inspired defensive work that has brought the Blazers back into this game as Wally Walker checks in for Lenny Wilkins. We've got 3 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the third period. And that is the second foul against Lucas, 22-8. Portland has outscored Seattle here in the third quarter. Silas rolls off. Couldn't get it away, but Gus Williams is there.
I'm still surprised they have not gone to Gus. He had the hot hand in the first half. He's not shooting the ball from the outside.
And you got a brief glimpse of Bill Walton, who has not played at all in the second half, as Davis hits from the left baseline for the Blazers, 64-59.
And Johnny Davis, a big factor here offensively for Portland, hitting that outside shot.
3:20 to go, and the Blazers up by 5.
We've got 5:08 remaining here in the third period. The Denver Nuggets continue to roll. Look at David Thompson as he helps open up an 85-63 lead.
You know what you could do with Mobile One? You can now drive from New York to Los Angeles without an oil change. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles without an oil change. That's what you can do with Mobile One.
We've been telling you that the best reason to buy a Black & Decker string trimmer is that it makes trimming your grass as easy as this. Well, here's another good reason. Money. Because if you buy one now, together with $5 worth of grass seed, fertilizer, or lawn care products, we'll give you $3 or $5 depending on the model you buy. Just send us the required proofs of purchase and get your Black & Decker rebate now.
See what's new today.
Last year, Chevrolet introduced a new kind of six-passenger car. And like hot dogs and apple pie, America is eating it up. Now in its second year, the new Chevrolet Caprice continues to give you more headroom,
More rear seat leg room.
More trunk room.
More manageability in city traffic.
more mileage. The beautiful new Chevrolet Caprice. Now that's more like it.
On Sunday, CBS Sports features an NBA World Championship playoff doubleheader, tipping off at 1:30 p.m. Eastern with Philadelphia taking on New York and San Antonio going against Washington. followed by 2 doubleheader games with Portland versus Seattle and Denver taking on Milwaukee. Consult your local listings for the games and times in your area. That's playoff doubleheader action Sunday.
Playoff doubleheader action Sunday, and of course these Milwaukee Bucks, boy, they really want to get home now, John.
They're going to have to win 2 games in Milwaukee unless they come back right now. There's a look of Carl Scheer. He's the president and general manager of the Denver Nuggets, and I'm sure with this play by David Thompson, he might feel he's worth that $800,000 a year.
Well, there it is, the $4 million contract, and Carl Scheer said, well, we feel we were fiscally responsible, and so does our bank. They figured they would have lost up to 2,500 season tickets, and they let Thompson get away.
Listen, for that kind of money, I could maybe even dunk it. That would be a miracle.
Now fouled underneath. Johnson will go to the line. It's Hillman picking up the foul, and he has 4.
There you see Marcus Johnson just going one-on-one, and he's going to have to do a lot more of that.
Well, you talked about Johnson not doing something that he's been doing all season long.
Well, Marcus Johnson pulled down 292 offensive rebounds during the regular season. Now, that ranked first among rookies and third among all NBA forwards. And tonight, he has no offensive rebounds. Credit Bobby Jones for that.
He got 2 from the free throw line to cut the margin to 20, 85-65. Ralph Simpson and Matt Calvin are now the Denver guards. This is Calvin. Good pass to Ellis. Makes it over Bridgman, 87-65. Walton, number 11, in the backcourt for Milwaukee. Marcus Johnson to Bridgman. Alex English. Bridgman using Johnson's screen. Can't do it.
That's what the Nuggets would like, push the Bucks outside. They're also doing a lot of challenging. Once the Bucks go up for the jumper, they go up and challenge. They really want to see the Bucks drive.
Dan Issel is in the game with Hillman now at the forward position. Hillman has played a little bit of center here tonight as well. There is Issel. He has 22 points. He feeds Hillman.
Hillman getting a force out there, apparently turned the ball over to the Bucks. The Bucks bring it up. Bobby Jones back in the game for the Nuggets. Hillman out.
Talking about Dan Issel with his 22 points, you said before the game that he was an important factor against the Milwaukee Centers in game number 1. Tonight he has 22 points and 1 foul. The Milwaukee Centers, Ginelli, Benson, and Akins have all been in there. They have not yet scored. They each have, Ginelli and Benson have 3 fouls each. Akins has 2. So Issel is, again, tonight dominating in the middle.
Well, yes, he is. Now, here's a backdoor play. We'll get an opportunity to see it once again. The Bucks coming into this game, wanting to go backdoor. Bridgman now doing it very nicely, drawing the foul.
Milwaukee with Bridgman at the line. And he has the penalty working for him.
The Nuggets do a nice job of pressuring the forwards, pressuring them as far out as possible. Therefore, the Bucks talk about going guard-to-guard pass to alleviate the pressure and also running a lot of backdoors.
Okay, and now for a report on the Seattle-Portland game, let's go to Brent Musburger and Rick Barry in Portland.
Welcome the Denver-Milwaukee crowd. Paul Silas checking the scoreboard. Seattle trailing Portland 70-66 with 1:07, which you can see in the upper right-hand corner. Now the grand old man of the Supersonics. Been here before with the Boston Celtics. There is something about the color green that brings out the best in Paul Silas. Spent a year in Denver and was not that comfortable with the Nuggets. But he's done a splendid job coming off the bench for Lenny Wilkens. He was a starter when the season began, before Wilkens became the head coach. Blazers up by 3 and inside of a minute now in the third. And Steele stepped out of bounds, protesting that he was pushed.
Well, it either has to be out of bounds or a foul, as we see the play right here. He's going, watch his right foot. Richie Powers had the angle. Looks like he may have stepped on the line.
So the final 48 ticks of the clock, and the third has belonged to the Blazers. Williams, pull-up.
Gus finally takes an outside shot. I believe he's 3 for 3 this half. He hasn't had many opportunities.
Total of 27 points with those 6 in the third quarter, Rick. It's a 1-point Portland lead. Davis inside, and Gus Williams got a hand, and Brown comes on the reverse dribble, cross to Williams, back to Walker. Fouled by Steele. Pretty basketball as the Sonics came down on the move that time. That is 4 fouls on Larry Steele.
You see Freddie Brown with the good pass to Gus. Gus makes the quick pass over to Wally Walker. Wally had a little tough angle that time. Was fouled by Steele right in the arm there, as you saw. Wally actually should have held up a little bit on his run, Brent, not allowed himself to get so far underneath the basket. That will come with experience.
Walker opened the season with Portland and actually scored 8 points in the first game against Seattle. The Trailblazers dominating the regular season series 3-1, but throw it out. It means nothing now.
And interesting enough, the team that did not score 100 points in every one of those games lost.
So Wally Walker has eased the Sonics back into the lead with those 2 free throws. It's 1 point, and it's last shot time at the third quarter. Steele goes inside to Lucas. Lucas maneuvering. Webster standing, and off comes Silas, and the Sonics will hold on to the lead as we've come to the end of the third quarter.
All right. Yeah.
Welcome back to Denver. This is Tim Ryan and John McLaughlin. We have a timeout with 2:12 remaining, third period, and Denver in a commanding situation, 93-69.
Here you get an opportunity to watch the ball go up, but watch Darnell Hillman here. His leg is heavily taped, it's padded. It hurts him just to run, to move out there. And to be totally honest, he hurts it again right here. To be totally honest, I really don't know why the Denver Nuggets are using him. They have a nice lead. Why use him? He's obviously in pain.
Maybe Darnell wants to play. That may be the thing. He's probably saying to Larry, I feel fine, as he limps over to the bench. But they are on the move here. And there's Darnell Hillman with the timeout headed toward the bench. And you can see he is limping, but a game competitor. And they have 3 players with those thigh bruises, but his by far the most serious. Remember, tomorrow on CBS at 4:30 Eastern Time, you will see on the CBS Sports Spectacular the World Middleweight Championship fight from San Remo, Italy. Undisputed champion Rodrigo Valdez against the 5th-ranked Hugo Coro of Argentina. And I've seen Coro fight. He is a young, exciting, tough fighter. He'll give Valdez a real handful tomorrow, and Tommy Brookshire and Jerry Corey will be there to bring it to you on CBS. We are underway again with Denver in white, Milwaukee in green. And Milwaukee, I would think at this point, would just like to get the next plane home, but they're not leaving until tomorrow morning, and they'll be on their home turf where they want to get back into this series, playing in front of the friendly crowd in Milwaukee.
Foul is on number 11, Boyd Walker.
Hillman's still in the game, and he's still limping quite a bit. He was in practice today. He said it felt pretty good. He was spending a lot of time on his shooting, but apparently getting it banged earlier in the first quarter was taking its toll a little bit.
Lloyd Walton picked up the Milwaukee foul. Mac Calvin at the line for Denver.
Tim, the Bucks have had problems, especially in the last half of the season, with their defense. It just hasn't been quite as good as it was a little earlier in the season. And tonight you can see that because the Nuggets really doing pretty much what they want, running the ball up the court and also half court.
Myers. Oh, what an effort by Myers. Roberts picks up the foul.
Dave Myers going baseline here. He's really quick for a big man, and he goes to the basket very nicely. Anthony Roberts comes over to help out from the weak side and got a little bit too much body in there.
David Myers gave up his body, showing his effort.
It's amazing. In this game, as you see Marcus Johnson coming in, John Gianelli going out, that means the Bucks will use Dave Myers as the pivot. In the pivot, as you see Bobby Jones coming in, therefore the Bucks obviously will try to apply a little bit more pressure.
Myers gets the first one. Anthony Roberts has 4 personal fouls.
You know, Dave Myers and Bobby Jones, you have 2 forwards built a lot alike and spend a lot of time on the floor.
Myers makes both to make it 95-71. Denver with the big lead. Darnell Hillman, he wants to play tonight. Simpson bounce pass back for Hillman. Oh, Ellis follows.
Both clubs now with forwards playing center. Hillman for the Nuggets, and as I mentioned before, Myers for the Bucks.
Ryan Witter on the baseline. Double team. Back to Walton. Bad pass. A race for it. Calvin. And can't make it, but Walton fouls him. Good hustle by Mac Calvin.
2 things out of that play, Tim. Number one, Brian Winters is having to give the ball up. They're not allowing him to shot. They're just taking him right out of the offense. They have good jumping guards that come up and challenge his jump shot. He threw the ball away this time to Walton, and Walton didn't go after the ball like he really should have. Therefore, he didn't know Calvin was coming in, and he puts Calvin on the line.
Winters had 8 points in the first half. He's had only one more basket here in the third period. Had only 15 points in game one as Denver did the defensive job on him.
That was just some fine hustle by Matt Calvin there.
Calvin makes a pair, 99-71.
Which team is down?
Walton, Johnson, Winters, Ernie Grunfeld, and Myers for Milwaukee. Myers on the feed from Grunfeld. Follow away is short. Goes out Jones of Denver. And look at this one. Portland and Seattle nip and tuck in the fourth period. Trailblazers lead by 2. Defending NBA champions. Myers. Back rim gets his own rebound. Tries again. Jones rebound. David Thompson. David Thompson does his thing. A 3-on-1, and Thompson took it all away. Back quickly on defense against Grunfeld. Marcus Johnson, he dunks it. 20 points for David Thompson. 12 points for Marcus Johnson. Bo Ellis for Denver. Ellis, Simpson, Jones, Calvin, and Thompson for the Denver lineup. Simpson driving. It'll be Grunfeld on the foul.
Here you'll see the Thompson play. He brings the ball up. It looked like he might have traveled right there and carried the ball with it. But look at this. Little dipsy do. There's a guy that played forward and is now turning into a very fine guard.
Well, Wilkerson, the other starting guard, also a natural forward. Both are remarkable players.
Now, with that foul on Ernie Grunfeld really has played very little in the last few weeks for the Milwaukee Bucks. As a matter of fact, almost not at all. And I'm sure his timing's a little bit off, but he's a very fine, aggressive basketball player.
Ralph Simpson with the second and 2. 102-73. We're in the final seconds of this period. Marcus Johnson fouled by Bobby Jones.
The Bucks attempting to set up a last shot play there for Marcus Johnson, and what it is, it's a clear out for him. All the players go to one side of the court. Marcus gets the ball around the top of the circle, goes one-on-one, but instead he's shooting a free throw.
Both teams are in the penalty here in the closing seconds. Buckner coming in for Milwaukee. Ryan Winters comes out. Johnson on the line. Well, the Bucks impressively swept Phoenix in 2 straight in the mini-series. Struggling here to try and go home all even. It's very much an uphill battle, 102-74. Steal by Myers. He has not stopped working. Could not stay inbounds, however. Boy, you got to credit Dave Myers with great effort here tonight. He has really worked hard.
Tim, he's a hustler. He plays all out all the time. The Bucks then went into the 1-2-1-1 zone press. Myers on the point.
Wilkerson up quickly to Simpson. Simpson lost it to Grunfeld. Grunfeld ahead for Marcus Johnson, and he dunks that one. As the buzzer sounds, the basket is good. And so Milwaukee not about to surrender anything. We have a quarter more of regulation time ahead as we watch Grunfeld on the steal. A lead pass for Marcus Johnson. And his basket gives the Bucks 76. Denver has 102. We have a quarter more to go in regulation time. The NBA on CBS will return after this word from your local station.
Will the Supreme Court decision legalizing abortion be reversed? CBS reports the politics of abortion tomorrow night on CBS.
Seattle-Portland game. Let's go now to Brent Musburger and Rick Barry in Portland.
Welcome to Denver, Milwaukee crowd. Portland with the basketball in a 1-point lead, 79-78. 9 minutes and 5 seconds left in Portland. Bill Walton has not played since the second quarter. Watching the action, and you've got to wonder, as Rick Barry asked, will Ramsey bring him in for the final 2 minutes, or will he go with the bunch that brought him this far? You got to dance with the folks that brought you, Darrell Royal might say, but on the other hand, you look for help whenever you can get it in the playoffs. Seckmer with control, and the rookie from Illinois, Wesleyan, stayed with it. It's 80-79, Seattle.
Those offensive rebounds at this stage of the game are so crucial. You've got to get on those defensive boards.
Free throws will be critical right now, too. Shot clock down toward 10. Lucas at the perimeter, and Neal left alone. Layup wouldn't go down.
Boy, does that hurt at this stage.
That would have changed the lead. Walker foul. Lucas and Hollins surround him. And Maurice Lucas picks up number 4 with Tom Owens and Marvin Webster coming in.
And also the 4th team foul. Next one, the penalty situation. A lot of time to go. Could be a big factor.
2 team fouls, Rick, against the Sonics. 8 minutes and 9 seconds. Owens was there on the bad pass. Blazers can grab the lead. Hollins, here's Neal, who could have had it a minute ago. Owens does.
Nice pass that time. A good pick and roll play.
7 minutes and 40 seconds.
Look how high out they've got them now. Almost at the half-court line starting their offense.
Webster's got his back to the ball on offense. And that on Lionel Hollins as he reached in. Now we've got number 4. Earlier we had 5. That is 5 is right. You bet.
There you see him reaching in. We can't really see if he grabbed him, but the official had a much better angle on the play.
Hollins will take a break.
And this is one fellow you do not want to put at the free throw line. And of course, you always jinx a guy when you say that, don't you?
Foul situation. Steele with 5. Hollins with 5. Owens and Lucas 4 apiece. Seattle doesn't have anyone in foul trouble. 7:35. There it is. So with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go, we are tied in Portland.
We have 9:47 remaining regulation time, and the Denver Nuggets have now a 30-point margin, 108-78.
To get 30 tons of logs off a mountain, you get to know a little about fear and a lot about driving. And you get to know about ice and snow and rain and hairpin turns. And in the end, with your truck, your logs, and you still in one piece, you get to know about Miller Time, too. Miller Time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Energy for a stronger America.
Today, ships like this are opening vast areas of the ocean for oil exploration. This one's under contract to Exxon, and she's an engineering marvel. Her electronic positioning systems and other special drilling equipment allow us to reach down into waters as deep as 4,000 feet to search for oil. This ship provides Exxon with valuable deep water experience that will help us find more energy for a strong America.
Webster's jump shot makes it a 4-point Sonic lead. 5:30. Timeout has been called, and the crowd will tell you what they think about the officiating. It's a rough life, but you can't beat the hours. the score. Seattle 87 and Portland 83. We'll return to the Portland Memorial Coliseum after these messages from your local station.
Don't miss the National Cheerleading Championships, a high-spirited special starring Cheryl Ladd, Monday night on CBS.
In Portland, Bill Walton has watched since the second quarter, and his teammates have fallen behind. Young and talented Seattle, 87-83 with 5 minutes and 37 seconds. I'm Brent Musburger with Rick Barry. Sunday we'll be in Seattle for Game 3. And who would have imagined that the Supersonics have a chance to go up there 2-0 with the next two scheduled in Seattle. That's the prospect that faces them if they can hold on. Lucas jump shot. It's 2-point lead, and Lenny Wilkins, the Seattle coach, looking on. We'll keep you up to date on the Milwaukee-Denver game if you've been watching that one. So far, Seattle has shot 60% in this fourth quarter. And there's 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go. 108-80. Denver leading Milwaukee. 108-80. Williams went to the other side. Wally Walker, but they have turned it over on the 3-second violation.
Yes, Marvin Webster anticipated the shot, tried to get in position for the rebound. When the shot wasn't taken, the official right on top of the play.
And as a result of that turnover, the Blazers can tie it. 4:35. Dennis Johnson will soon come back in for the Sonics. Lucas hit the last two field goals. 17 points from Maurice, who's playing with 4 fouls. And this game has been tied 11 times. The lead has changed hands 16 times here tonight in Portland. Owens, Doolin, Webster pushing him out of the attack. Marvin puts it down. Lucas on the double team.
That's where
Marvin Webster with great desire, Rick.
Where the weak side defense should have helped, Brent. Somebody should have attacked Marvin as he put the ball on the floor and never allowed him to get that penetration to the hoop.
Lucas came a little bit late then on that. 3:49. Here's Maurice. Got it down on Sigma, rejected by Webster and out of bounds.
Maurice is on the ground.
Walker is there.
Let's watch the play. He fakes Sigma out. Excellent move. He goes up. Watch Webster. There he goes. The good block. See if there's any contact there. I think Maurice did a pretty good acting job.
3 minutes and 40 seconds. 89-87. Sonics. Collins. Lucas. Sigma finally away, and it is all muscle underneath the glass right now. 2-on-2. Williams glides to the hole. A beautiful play in a pressure situation.
That's Gus's game, Brent. Give him the open floor.
That's 31 points for Gus Williams. Steal underneath. Foul as he threw it up at the hole. Stomach is churning, and you would never be able to tell it looking at Lenny Wilkins' face. But he played the game under control, didn't he? Jack Ramsey, just the opposite as you watch him. Down on that one knee. Very active on the sideline. Free throws important for Ramsey's Blazers.
And, of course, the Blazers are in the penalty situation. The Sonics only have 3 team fouls, so they have a distinct advantage there.
It's a 2-point Sonic lead, and the time left, 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Lucas over there on Sigma, dives to the floor on him. Lucas. Sigma finally away, and it is all muscle underneath the glass right now. 2-on-2. Williams glides to the hole. A beautiful play in a pressure situation.
That's Gus's game, Brent. Give him the open floor.
That's 31 points for Gus Williams. Steal underneath. Foul as he threw it up at the hole. Stomach is churning, and you would never be able to tell it looking at Lenny Wilkins' face. But he played the game under control, didn't he? Jack Ramsey, just the opposite as you watch him. Down on that one knee. Very active on the sideline. Free throws important for Ramsey's Blazers.
And, of course, the Blazers are in the penalty situation. The Sonics only have 3 team fouls, so they have a distinct advantage there.
It's a 2-point Sonic lead, and the time left, 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Lucas over there on Sigma, dives to the floor on him. We're going to have a timeout here. That was the aggressive play of Maurice Lucas coming up on Jack Sigma. And Lenny Wilkins says, you allow him to mug the man, Richie?
Not everyone will understand the language spoken by this Chevy Camaro. For those who understand the language, we recommend the car.
Dawn launch, Sea of Japan. The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
100 miles from nowhere, you prospect for black gold, punching holes in the seafloor, knowing that more often than not he'll come up empty. But you take the gamble anyway and give it everything you've got. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for shore and the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
With 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining, Seattle leads Portland by 2 points. And a reminder of our NBA doubleheader on Sunday. Philadelphia and the Knicks in Game 1. San Antonio and Washington in Game 2. Washington won tonight. They lead that series. Denver right now leading Milwaukee 110-84. And, of course, Portland and Seattle, those two contests will be the second games of the doubleheader. Sigma and Lucas on the jump ball after they tangled. Webster throws it back. They didn't call. He was out of bounds, apparently. Knocked out by Dennis Johnson of Seattle.